All right, and welcome to another edition of the SEACT Interview Series. I have the lovely pleasure of interviewing Stacey Burton. So, Stacey, why don't you tell us where you work and what you do on the day-to-day basis?
Thank you, Allie. I am the program manager for Every Commute Counts. We are a commuter rideshare program that serves the greater Louisville region, basically a 9 county area. And I've been here at this agency for over 20 years now. It seems a little scary to say, but in the role of program manager involved with TDM since 2014.
So then what did you do for the other 8-ish, 9 years that you were at KIPTA? And how did you get into the TDM program?
Well, prior to the TDM program, I was a transportation planner for the MPO, and the area of my expertise that I delved into included all the op modes, transit, bike, ped, anything besides basically a single occupancy vehicle. And so when this position came open, I thought this would be interesting because sometimes transportation projects can take a little long to work their way through the system, and this has more interest day to day because no 2 days are the same. So I thought I would try for it, and I got it.
Awesome. And I feel like I recently saw on the TDM listserv, you wrote some sort of exchange about you and your husband's roles kind of overlapping. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So we both work for the same agency. He is still a transportation planner. He's a senior transportation planner that oversees the development of the Metropolitan Transportation Plan. And as you might imagine, because we both work here, it's not easy to just shut that off at the end of the day, especially when telework is involved. And so we definitely have many discussions about congestion and all sorts of horrible things. Yeah. Well
Awesome.
into the evening. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. I will say that, but and I wouldn't trade it for the world, but it is kind of different.
Cool. Okay, enough work talk. I have a list of questions, and I want you to pick a number 1 through 8. And each question is different based on whatever number you pick. So, what do you think? 1 through 8.
Go with number 3.
Number 3. What was the last book you read?
The Book of Eels, actually.
I've never heard of it.
It made Time Magazine's top, I don't know, 100 or 50 books of 2020. And so I just always scan that list to find out, new reading material or whatever. And it sounded interesting. And I had no idea that eels were so interesting and so mysterious. It's a great read. It was written by a journalist as opposed to somebody who's a little kind of heavier into the tech. And it relates his interest back to his dad and how he grew up. But then he mixes in, things like global warming and how this perhaps is endangering the eel and all kinds of really interesting facts. So I highly recommend. It's never a book that I thought I would read either. But it is really good. Yeah.
Awesome. I feel like between the two topics of transportation and eels, you would be a really good person to have on a team for trivia. Stacey, thanks so much for letting me interview you today. We appreciate you sharing a little bit more about what you do.
Allie, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.